You're getting poorer without realizing it. Not because of his salary, not because of the economy, because of decisions that feel right, that everyone around you also makes, but that are quietly draining your money every month. And the worst, these decisions once made perfect sense. They were intelligent. They were the standard. His parents followed. His friends follow. And no one stopped to ask if they still work. According to Northwestern Mutual, 22% of Americans have no emergency savings at all. 0. And another 28% have less than 3 months saved. Half the country is an unforeseen event away from financial chaos, and yet it continues to make the same decisions as always. This is no coincidence. It's a pattern, and this video will show you exactly where it's happening in your life. If you are not yet subscribed, sign up now and click on the bell. Every week, there is content about money and financial decisions that really change the game. For decades, there has been an unwritten manual on money in America. Go to college, buy a house, finance a new car, get the most complete health plan, keep the rest in the account. He renews everything the following year. This manual worked. For that economy, for that cost of living. Then came inflation. Between 2020 and 2023, the cost of living in the U.S. rose more than 20% cumulatively, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The median home price has surpassed $400,000. The average new car came in at $48,000. Student debt hit $1.7 trillion. The manual became obsolete, but no one sent you the update. 8 things, 3 categories, and a change in perspective that will make you see your money in a completely different way. Category 1. Outdated spending habits. What was once the intelligent standard, today it is just the standard. Item 1. Cable TV. The average cable bill in the U.S. is $83 per month, according to S&P Global. More than $1,000 per year. And what do most people watch? Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, content that costs a fraction of that. Between 2020 and 2024, more than 25 million American households canceled the cable. A quarter of the country has already made this decision. The rest still pay for 300 channels and watch 4, 2 of which are available for free online. Smart change isn't about cutting everything tomorrow, it's auditing. Add cable, streaming, music, games, apps. Most people get to $250, $300 a month and are in shock. The first step is to see the number. Item 2, 4-year college without strategy. American student debt has exceeded $7 trillion, according to the Federal Reserve. The average per graduate is $37,000. And a study by the Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce showed that 30% of degrees do not financially return the cost of training in 10 years. The old logic was, any degree, any school will improve your life. It worked when a diploma was scarce. Today it has become a commodity. The market doesn't ask where you studied, ask what you know how to do. Paying $200,000 at a private college for a course with no market demand because of social pressure without any plan, that particular decision can lock a person in financial for an entire decade. The right question is not, should I go to college? It is, will this investment pay off, and how soon? Item 3. New car, as a symbol of stability. A new car loses an average of 20% of its value in the first year and up to 60% in 5 years, according to Carfax. The average price reached $48,000, according to Kelley Blue Book, with financing reaching 7%, 8%, 9% per year in 2023 and 2024. You are buying an asset that depreciates quickly, financed with high interest rates, at the highest historical price, to prove to other people that you got there. A 2- or 3-year-old used car delivers practically the same good for 30% to 40% less, without the initial depreciation, without the highest insurance from scratch. The previous generation bought new cars because it made sense in that market. Today it makes sense for the concessionaire. Notice the pattern. These are not stupid decisions. These are smart decisions for a world that has changed. And that changes everything, because the solution is not to blame yourself. It's about updating. But now comes the mistake that quietly destroys the most money. Category 2. Illusions that seem intelligent but are not. These give a sense of control, but hide a real loss. Item 4. Cash stopped in current account. Do you know how much the average checking account of a traditional American bank yields? 0.07% per year. Official FDIC number. Inflation in June 2022 reached 9.1%, the highest level in 40 years, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Even today, it is above 3%. This means that money sitting in a checking account is not safe. It's shrinking, every month, silently. No red number on the statement, because the loss does not appear as a debit. It appears as purchasing power that slowly disappears. And the most perverse, the visible balance gives a feeling of control. You feel organized and stop looking for alternatives. Meanwhile, high-yield savings accounts, available in Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally, and SoFi, paid 4.5% to 5% per year in 2023 and 2024. Same protection as the FDIC, same liquidity. It's a 10-minute transfer that most never do because no one ever explained that the checking account was working against them. Item 5. Expensive academy without consistency. According to Statista, more than 67% of gym members in the U.S. never use the subscription they pay for. The sector earns billions precisely because of this model. The average monthly fee in the U.S. is $58 per month, according to Run Repeat. Almost $700 per year. With irregular use, this is not an investment in health. It's guilt packed with hope, automatically renewed on the card every month. If you go every week and you're making progress, it might be worth every penny. The criterion is not the price. It is honesty about your actual behavior. Today, there are functional gyms for $10 to $25 per month and free apps with full programs. What determines the result has never been how much you pay. It was the consistency with which you appear. Financial illusion is not stupidity. This is what happens when the feeling of doing the right thing replaces the analysis of whether you are actually doing it. And this gets much worse in the next category. If this video is opening up a new perspective, leave the like now. And if you know someone stuck in these patterns, send that video to that person now. Category 3. Things that quietly drain your future. These are the most dangerous, invisible in everyday life, devastating in the long run. Item 6. Premium health plan, without real analysis. The average American pays $8,135 a year in healthcare, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. Much of it goes to roofs that are never used. The old logic, more expensive plan, more coverage, less surprise. Today, most renew the most expensive plan every year by inertia, without ever calculating what they actually used in the last 12 months. What most don't know. An HDHP plan combined with an HSA can be much more advantageous for healthy people. HSA has a triple tax benefit. You deposit before taxes, the money grows tax-free, and you use it tax-free for medical expenses. It is one of the only accounts with this benefit available to ordinary Americans. For many people, HDHP plus HSA costs less per month, covers what matters, and still builds health equity for the future. Paying more for coverage you don't use is not prudence. It's expensive inertia with automatic renewal. Item 7. Convenience spending that has become an invisible habit. This is the most surprising thing, because it doesn't seem like a problem until you see the total number. Food delivery, meal kits, Uber for short trips, one-click purchases on Amazon, $7 coffee every business day. Individually, it seems irrelevant. It's only $8. It's only $12. It's only once. The problem is that only once happens 15 times a week. According to a study by Lending Club and PIMS, 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and a significant portion have incomes above $100,000 per year. It's not a lack of money. It's a lack of visibility about where he's going. The average American spends between $300 and $500 a month on delivery and convenience alone, according to data from Bloomberg's second measure. Between $3,600 and $6,000 per year, in expenses that don't build anything, don't create equity, don't generate returns. Here's the shock number. If you redirected just $300 a month of that spending to an S&P 500 indexed account over 20 years with an average historical return of 10% per year, you would have accumulated more than $220,000. The same money. The only difference is where he went. Convenience comes at a price. And most people are paying that price without ever having consciously decided it's worth it. Item 8. Whole life insurance as an investment. For decades, insurance agents have sold whole life insurance as an all-in-one solution. Protection and growth in one product. The problem appears in the numbers. According to analysis by the Consumer Federation of America, the average return on the investment component of a whole life policy is between 1% and 2% per year. The S&P 500 historically returns about 10% per year before inflation. The alternative that independent financial planners consistently recommend, term life insurance. Fixed-term insurance, no investment component, significantly lower cost, combined with separate investments in Roth IRA or indexed accounts. Whole life can make sense in complex and specific estate planning. For most middle-income people, it's an expensive product that mixes two things that work much better apart. You're not paying for the value. It is paying for the packaging. These are not mistakes of irresponsible people. These are mistakes by people who followed an outdated manual in a game that has already changed. And the first thing that changes when you realize that is how you see yourself. Reframe moment. Stop. Breathe. If you've made it this far, you probably recognized yourself in at least 3 items. And maybe I felt that twinge. How come I didn't see that before? Change the frame. Don't think I was wasting money. Think about it. I was following rules that once made sense, and no one told me when they stopped working. There is a huge difference between being irresponsible and being uninformed. Irresponsible is to know and ignore. Uninformed is not having had access to the right perspective at the right time. Most financially trapped people didn't get there out of laziness. He got there following a cultural script built for another time, which was never updated. You don't need to punish yourself for past decisions. You need to make different decisions from now on. And the difference between these two beginnings is enormous. One paralyzes, the other moves. 5 simple changes for this week. 1. Auditing signatures today. Open the card statement. Add up everything recurring. Most people find between $200 and $400 a month in expenses that they don't even remember exist. Cancels what you don't actively use. Not tomorrow. Today. 2. Move your money to a high-yield savings account. Ally, Marcus, SoFi, no minimum fee, real yield. A 10-minute transfer with real long-term impact. 3. Track convenient spending for 30 days. Not to punish himself, to see the real number. At the end of the month, you decide with information, not with assumption. 4. Review your health plan at your next open enrollment. Compares your current plan with HDHP plus HSA. An hour of analysis can save you hundreds of dollars a year. 5. Separate investment protection. If you have whole life insurance, you talk to an independent trustee, not the agent who sold the policy. Fiduciaries are legally obligated to act in their interest. The difference between people who build wealth and those who stay in the same place is not salary. It is not an inheritance. It's not luck. It's updating. It's the ability to look at one's own habits and ask, does this still make sense? Or am I doing it because it's always been like this? The world has changed. The economy has changed. The tools available to ordinary people have changed radically in the last 15 years. Those who do not update their mental software about money continue to run an old system in a completely different world. You don't have to change everything at once, but you need to start asking different questions about the decisions you make on autopilot. Because the difference between those who advance and those who get stuck is rarely how much they earn. It's how much they realize. And today you noticed a little more. If this video has changed anything in your way of thinking about money, leave the like. Comment below which of the 8 items took you by surprise the most. I want to read each answer. And look, appearing on the screen now, there is a video that goes straight to this theme. It's about the spending that is draining your money without you realizing it. Things that add up to hundreds of dollars a month without you noticing. If you've made it this far, that's the natural next step. Click there now. See you next time.